saw the demo earlier. You can play the game like in a stealthy way or very action-oriented. Are there benefits in playing either way?
Well, they're both hard in different ways depending on what you like. Playing the action-oriented way consumes more resources. Stealth is lighter on the resources, but also we track the number of innocents you kill through the course of the game, and it has little consequences all the way through the game. If the body count is very high, then there are many more rats in the world, like pools of rats down in a basement or rats crossing the street that are aggressive toward you. Characters have different lines of dialogue that they say. One of your allies, her outlook gets darker. There are little scenes that are different here and there. And then also the end games are different. Murdering many people commits you to a darker end game.
We saw you use a lot of different powers. Can that create like problems with the artificial intelligence because of all the different stuff you can use?
Yeah, it makes the game much harder to balance and much harder to bulletproof against bugs. But it is part of our philosophy. Raphael and I believe that we should empower the player in a very flexible, creative way, and then lock that down and make the rest of the game react to that. What most developers do is they set up the player powers and the tuning, and when that causes problems, they lock down the rest of the game and they lower the player's power. And so we decided to do it the opposite way. We really like empowering the player.
In the demo, we saw you transform into a fish, and then that seemed to me like a secret way to enter the building. Or was there some kind of hint to see how you would get there?
What you saw was the possession power. In our game, when you have level 1 of possession, you can possess animals, which means you magically merge with their body and then you're controlling them. And at level 2, you can possess people even and walk them around in the world. What we do with the level in environments is we try to build it very realistically with a rooftop and a back door and a front door and windows and maybe even drainage tunnels out to the river and little holes that rats have made, air ducts. And we just sprinkle those everywhere, and we don't really like put a big arrow on it or whatever. It's just up to the player to find it. And by exploring, you can find it. Now, some players are very simple, and they just run for the the front door, and they fight their way straight through the level. That's fine. It has a consequence and a cost. Other players are very slow, and they like to look around and explore. They like to eavesdrop on conversations and gain additional details about the world, and they like to find little things like those hidden pathways over the rooftop or how to get to the second floor and get through the window, and they have a different experience. That's the whole part of our philosophy, is that you, when you play, make decisions and you have a different experience than I have. If you don't make decisions, it's not a video game, it's not a game.
Don't you feel like if you played like a standard shooter that people miss out on a lot of what the game has to offer?
I do feel like they will not see as much as the very thorough player who reads all the books and notes and eavesdrops on all the conversations, because the conversations are not just random. They are designed to give you little bits of data about the world that by the end of the game, if you're very thorough, you have a very full understanding of the game. However, one of our approaches is that some stealth games, when the alarm goes off, when you get busted, you have to start over. In our game, much like Deus Ex, when the alarms go off, it just changes. Things get interesting. They get very action-oriented. So even though I am mostly a stealth player, Raphael and I like to sneak as much as we can, and if things go badly, kill a few people and then go back to sneaking. And I even do playthroughs where I literally kill no one through the entire game, even the assassination targets, because we have story-based alternative outcomes for all of them if you're a very thorough player. But even though that's true, I sometimes try the full action playthrough just to make sure it's fun. We have people on the team who advocate that, and I have to say, it is brutal and it drains resources fast, but it's also fun. And I think it's more fun than a standard shooter because our outcomes are not so scripted and our tools are more what we say general purpose. They work according to a simulation, so you can use them creatively in ways that we did not plan.